Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Shoutcast. I am your host, Jake Kelton, here, streaming live online. Welcome to Team Fighting Badgers versus Worst Team NA. We're going to get it on here. Looks like nobody's connected yet. The player has not yet connected. The game cannot start without them. JK, everyone connected in. LeBlanc banned out. Classic champion to ban out. We do not want that bitch playing here because she is OP as always. For those people who are unable to join, stick around. We will more than likely do another Shoutcast after this game. You can jump into that one, but not before we get this $10 RP giveaway for you guys. Don't forget about that. We will do that after this, and then we might do another Shoutcast and get a bunch of new people involved in the game. So, Alec9353, I can see you. Oh, you made gold? Fantastic. Brofist for you. Brofist. Let's see it. Anyway, so, we got some more bans here coming out. Purple Team or Team Worst Team NA banning out Braum, the new super strong support champion. Way motherfucking OP, just like Jax in that top lane. He dominates so hard, so they're going to ban him out. No playing Jax, not allowed. Twitch banned out as well. The super strong ADC coming in. He can turn invisible. He can shoot all of his Super Soaker Blast. Just doing way too much damage. Got that AoE ultimate. Hitting everybody in a line. Just not cool. We're going to take him out of the game. As well as Lee Sin. Not interested in having that super strong champion. Being able to jump in. We saw him in that last game. Just dominating me on the bottom lane there. Way too good. And we're also going to have Worst Team NA banning out Yasuo. Very strong in that mid lane. As well as a combination with anybody who can do a knockup with his ultimate. Just going to be jumping in. X-Doberman, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. You are awesome, man, and I hope you get to enjoy the stream and maybe jump into a game afterwards. That'd be pretty fantastic. And get part of this $10 RP giveaway. So best of luck to all y'all. So, Dragon Rage 2 Damoof. Picking up Shyvana possibly for the jungle. First pick for Team Fighting Badgers, as they are going to be too terribly strong. If Team Fighting Badgers does not take a Teemo Badger skin, I'm going to be a little disappointed. However, it is Teemo, and sometimes he can win games, sometimes he can't. So we'll see. But it is going to be the Shyvana, the dragon in the jungle mode. Just saw How to Train Your Dragon 2 today, and it was fantastic. If you guys have not seen How to Train Your Dragon 2, go check it out. Just as good as the first. Blew my mind. So, we've got Ruse picking up Thresh, possibly going to give it over to Crazy. No, it's not. It's actually Paginator, but Paginator's not on. Paginator's favorite champion is Thresh, but it's going to be Ruse instead, taking Thresh, maybe handing it over to a teammate, but with that flash exhaust, more than likely going to be going support role himself in that bottom lane. And the Chosen One, picking up this Irelia for the top lane. Super strong champion. Everyone knows nerf that Irelia. She's too OP with that instant refresh on her Q anytime that she gets a kill with it, minion or champion. Extremely strong late game. Very tanky, very damaging. Everyone knows the deal with Orianna. She does way too much damage, so whatever. J Bowman 6-6 hooking up again with this possible Zilean in the top lane. He went Zilean top lane in that last ranked game we saw, but now that he knows he's not against a Teemo, maybe he'll have a chance against this Irelia in the top lane. We shall see in this game. Fighting Badgers versus Worst Team NA. How are you all doing it? No. Yes, he is going to be picking up that Zilean, which I am excited as we very often don't see Zileans in game, so best of luck to you, Mr. Zilean J. Ballman, and Mr. Crit picking up his favorite ADC, that Draven, League of Draven. In that bottom lane, dealing out mass damage with those flying axes. Crazy Murderer going to be picking up a Nidalee for that mid lane, I believe, for Team Worst Team NA ever. In that mid lane, super powerful, very dangerous late game with those poke damage. However, can't do a whole lot for team fight, so has to work with the perfect team fight. But with that initiation from Irelia coming in with the CC of Thresh, could be a perfect combination to add this poke comp Nidalee adding into it, as well as the best poke ADC on the planet in the game right now, Worst Irelia ever, who may be switching out to get the Irelias. Prove they are the worst Irelia ever, but going to be picking up Lucian, who's poke damage with his Q, as well as the culling and his ultimate is just too much damage. We shall see how he does. With LPK on the support Morgana. Morgana is one of the best anti-Thresh supports in the game, so best of luck to you. And then Costa Nostra playing that mid lane Kayle. Don't often see mid lane Kales, but when we do, they are extremely scary. So hopefully we'll be able to see some amazing Kayle plays with that ultimate invincibility. OMG. JP23 picking up the Wukong for the jungle for purple team, and yes, we will see worst Irelia ever. So in these last couple seconds, got to run through everyone and their champions real fast. We don't have a whole lot of time left. For those people that are viewing, understand that this game, once again, will be available on Twitch, on YouTube, on my Facebook page, that Shoutcast guy, everywhere you can find me, as well as you'll be able to see it once we're in game. You do not have to watch it now. Please don't lag yourselves. Play a good game and watch it afterwards if you want. Share it with a friend. But now, as everyone's in the loading screen, we're going to jump to Dragon Rage 2 Damoof, taking this Shyvana in the jungle for Team Fighting Badgers. J Bowman 66 on the Zillion in the top lane. Mr. Crip Draven in that bottom lane ADC route. LPK on the support Morgana. And Costa Nostra taking the Kayle in the mid lane. And then the Chosen One on the... Oh, we're going to be in a 3-minute waiting mode. There we go. The Chosen One on the Lee Sin for the worst team, and or not Lee Sin, what am I talking about? Lucian, very similar, but Lucian for your worst team NA. Ruse picking up that Thresh ADC or support role in that bottom lane. Crazy Murder on the mid lane Nidalee. Worst Irelia ever picking up the Irelia, and please nerf Irelia, in that top lane for worst team NA. And then of course JP23, last but not least in that jungle role, Wukong. A lot of interesting composition here. Blue team, or Team Fighting Badgers, is a little bit all over the place. So glad I didn't ban Morgana. Yeah, good to have her on the team. I'm going to check out what he says. Oh, Merc Going Ham also wants to be added eventually, but might do that X-Mage T after this game. Interesting compositions here. Dragon's Rage Damoof picking up that very tanky Shyvana with the damage from Mr. Crip. Blue team has got a very interesting composition. A little bit of poke with that Kayle, a little bit of damage with that Draven, a little bit of damage with the Zillion if you can get in on it. They have two ultimates, one that makes you invisible for a while, and then one that allows you to come back alive with most of your health. So we'll see if they can put that on somebody useful. However, I personally am going to vote for purple team, Team Worst Team NA, to actually prove that they are rather good. They have a great composition with that Nidalee, Thresh, Lucian, and then of course the Irelia and Wukong initiation or anti-initiation line. They are both great at stunning champions and getting them out. Wukong has his AoE ultimate, which is going to knock up the entire enemy team, allow Nidalee or Lucian to pick targets off, and then of course Irelia is going to come in and clean up the crew with the CC help from Thresh. I'm liking worst team NA, but best of luck to Team Fighting Badgers and my man Mr. Crip, my man LPK, my man Dragon Rage Shoot Them Off, showing off your skills in this game as we got 20 seconds left on the clock for you guys. Best of luck to all of you for vote for which team you think will take the game. I got this fool to gold. That's what. So, best of luck. Curse Voice Link. I don't know what. I don't understand this curse voice thing. Like, I don't understand it. I guess to hear, I vote for me. I like it. So, as we go into the game, I added some new lights, and that way there's a little bit more light when I stream. But oh my gosh, it adds so much heat. It's like, it's killing me. Whew. I now know what sweating my balls off looks like. Dude, I'm not giving you the RP. I'm giving whoever gets it. It's hyper random. It's very, very good the way that the system works. But it will be the first time I run it, so there might be some kinks. Hopefully there won't be. I don't think there should be. Send a link and they can join. Oh, to hear for, so that way teammates can hear. Okay, what team you on? What team you on? I know there's more person message below. I'm doing the giveaway after this Shoutcast. Can you not read? It's cool. But everyone knows skin to win. Team that has the best skins is most likely to win. We've got some great skins coming in here. Ice Drake Shyvana, one of my favorite skins. Mr. Crip picking up Gladiator Draven in that bottom lane. Great sound effects. And then, of course, for other teams, or for other players, if they want to be a part of the in-game chat, check it out here. There we go, just being professional with it. Deep Terror Thresh being picked up by Ruse. Great skin. Personally, I like Championship Thresh, but I was unable to get it before it disappeared, which is just unfortunate. Can't get my Championship Thresh skin anymore. How sad, but still a very cool skin. Headhunter Nidalee, have that skin. Frostbutt Irelia, look at that, dad ass. I mean, how could you, like, how can you say no to that? Oh, and that face. Hair is kind of hard to run your fingers through, considering it's all like crystal and crap. But you know, it's still that's the face of sexy right there. Like, how can you deny that? If she walked up to you at a bar, like, you would not say no to that. Please don't tell me you say no to that. If you say no to that, it's probably because you'd go for like Zillion, like the old man look. Like, no, just not even cool. But go LPK! Best of luck to LPK, says a bunch of players on the Morgana support. Look at the 2 gold players there. They got the gold edges. Don't forget, one team has 2 gold members, one team has a platinum player, so definitely keep an eye out for that in the game. Cheating on... Well, I'm not cheating on... It's a video game, bro. It's a video game in-game graphics. You can't... That's not even, like, a thing. You can't even do that. But switch over fully into the game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to League of Shoutcast. So we're going to start off by putting everybody in the correct positions. Of course, we've got our ADCs second bottom here with our supports in that bottom. Thresh versus Morgana going to be lining up against each other as Lucian and Draven go head-to-head, while in the mid lane, Nidalee and Kayle are going to be saying hi to each other. Wukong versus Shyvana in the jungle, and that top lane, Irelia versus Zillion. Mostly had that all sorted out already. So, a lot of champions starting off with that classic Doran's pick, the Doran's rings. It's actually going to be Irelia picking up that crystalline flask up there, as well as those machetes. Basic start from those junglers. Music is a little bit loud. We're going to turn that down just a bit now that we're actually in-game here. Turn it up just a little bit. Don't want to be out of it. There we go. So, Dragon Rage Tier Murph is going to carry, says Alec9353, so best of luck. No mercy, he got to Viagra. That's how we go. Be nice-ish. No need for any apologies. Looks like Wukong is going to be starting off blue buff. We've got a lot of blue team members hovering around the red buff for Shyvana possibly starting off. Draven chilling by the tower. He's like, I don't need help with that anything. It's cool. So, best of luck to both teams in the game. A little bit of smiley face being drawn by Lucian underneath Thresh here. Look at that beautiful smiley face. That's how we roll. And, gosh, that Irelia. Just, you know, I should get my wife to cosplay Irelia for DragonCon. We go to DragonCon every year. You guys will be able to find me at DragonCon this year if you are in the area. I'm always go by Jake Kelton at DragonCon, but I should get my wife to do that. Cosplay Irelia. I'm actually going to be trying to cosplay Rengar, so best of luck to me finishing up that costume. But looks like we are going to have a classic start. Nice leeches by both team members helping out. Wukong is actually going to pick up a blue buff a little bit before the Shyvana, as Purple Team had a little bit longer leash on that. Worst Irelia ever in that top lane. Going to start her farm main against that Zillion. Things to focus on in this game will be that Zillion in the top lane. See how well he does against this Irelia. Zillion in that top lane is not often what you take in that top lane, trying to get this farm before the tower gets it. A little bit of a laugh from Irelia coming out there. Other things to watch will be this composition in the mid lane. Nidalee versus Kayle. Crazy Murderer is a very strong Nidalee according to my sources, meaning all the games that I've watched him play. And then, of course, Kayle is extremely strong in the late game. Welcome, Izzy, to the game. Giveaway will be after this Shoutcast. Give away after this game. So stick around and enjoy the Shoutcast, or you could just come back in about 20 to 30 minutes and check us out then. So Classic. Yeah, I need to show you guys the Rengar costume. I have this whole headpiece at the moment, almost finished. So nice little bit of damage from Crazy Murder going on to Kolstra. Nostra in the mid lane already has those traps as well as, I believe, heal. So getting down just a little bit, but Kale says, I've got to heal myself. I can just heal it back, and my AoE is strong enough to get some of this farm. Gonna miss that one minion, but that's okay. So, nice damage from Irelia in that top lane, but that extra bomb and ignite will knock her down to about the same amount of health in that top lane. Going to be a tough battle between those two. Nice dark binding from LPK, a little bit damage onto the Chosen One. Alec is bad manners, says Shyvana. I think Alec is on the... I'm not exactly sure. Is Alec in the game? Dyslexic. Pentakill, Izzy420, welcome to the game. Thank you for joining in. Rue's doing a nice bit of damage onto LPK. Is going to put the spell shield on herself. Try to keep anything else from Purple Team going down, but it's not going to happen. Blue Team already starting off with a little bit of an advantage, about 200 gold extra, 300 gold extra, but Purple Team not too far behind in the game. A little bit of better farm from Blue Team so far in the game is actually Shyvana has got about 20 farm to Wukong's about 14, so a little bit ahead of Wukong. Neither jungle has backed yet though, and no deaths yet. Usually there's like a super early death, but in this game it is not happening. LPK is the best. What are you talking about? Says Yulzik. Morgana is OP. We shall see if she can play all of those beautiful spell bindings as we've seen her do before. Still a little bit of a farming game between these two. I don't think anybody in any lane has backed just yet. Still got some nice potions by that Aurelia in the top lane. Doesn't have a whole lot of damage. Zillion actually took clarity to continue to give himself a lot of mana in that top lane. Allows him to spam a lot of his abilities. Shyvana will be the first member of the game to back, picking up the rest of her Spirit Stone, still sitting with a nice machete and grabbing a lot of wards before coming back into the game. Wukong is going to be going back towards the jungle wolves to keep farming. Shyvana is a little bit ahead, and so that's going to be very helpful for her. 5 minutes into the game, still no massive leaders, but that's how you know that this game is going to take a while, because the most intense gameplay is just getting underway as the farming continues. Irelia now about 20 farm, almost 30 farm, above this Zillion in the top lane. Got a nice stun down and continue to do a little bit of damage. There's that ignite. Thinks she's got enough finish with that. The ignite is almost there. Will be enough. First blood going to Irelia in that top lane, just feeding that top Irelia more. Nerf Irelia, please. First blood going to Irelia. Fantastic job. Thresh will carry, I promise, says Z Gengar. There we go. Missing the cues on purpose to learn about their dodge habits. You know, that is actually a huge thing. As a Thresh player, or just generally other players, I will throw out a lot of cues, especially early on, just to figure out how people do things and then be able to beat it. So I completely understand how that happens. So I approve of your tactics, sir. There's a nice cue. That death sentence coming out onto Mr. Crip. Getting a little bit of damage from the Chosen One. That fillet is not going to land on anybody, though. Thresh and Lucy are going to have to back off from that. Good try, though, from Ruse in getting it. However, LPK following up with a perfect spell shield on Mr. Crip. Going to keep off a lot of that damage. The Chosen One still hasn't built up too much stacks, as neither ADC have backed. Draven coming out a little bit ahead so far, about 10 farm in the lead, as Nilly's chucking out those spears in the mid lane. There's Draven continuing to get farm. LPK just helping a little bit. There's some damage from Kale going on to Nidalee before deciding instead to hit some of these minions. JP23 actually found that pink ward by Shyvana, so going to be taking that out early on. That ward couldn't have been there for more than about 2 minutes, so not full use of a pink ward, so great job by Wukong JP23 on that, catching that. Alex is me friend, says Shyvana. Alec is a bad manners. Alex is my friend. Mr. Crip, there's a dark binding by LPK, not quite gonna land on Lucian. Zillion now having backed, got that tier, but only sitting about 20 farm to Irelia's almost 60. She's now about 40 farm ahead, so Shyvana may look at helping Zillion out in that top lane because he is down very heavily in farm, and Irelia might be getting a second kill. There's that ultimate coming out, very low health, and even though got the bomb, not going to be enough. Zilean might have not had enough mana to use. No, his ultimate was up. Not sure why he didn't use his ultimate to save himself. So, I guess best of luck to you up there, as you've now died twice. But you do have that Tear of the Goddess and now Boots, so hopefully you'll be stacking that up towards late game. Late game Zilean can be extremely scary if you can play it right, but Irelia can be even a little bit more scary. Now already has that Sheen as well as some magic resist to kind of take down some of that damage. A nice death sentence from Thresh, but the spell shield from Morgana is on Mr. Crypt. He's going to be doing, not taking all that damage. Morgana does have the ultimate. Everybody in that bottom lane has their ultimate, so they're not going to be using it just yet, as Irelia is going to find out Shyvana in that top lane. Look at all those pings from blue team. Why are we not switching over? We're going to go ahead and grab the camera and move it over there so we can see what's going on. Shyvana's now chasing worst Irelia ever, as the bombs from Zilean are going to speed or go down onto Irelia and then going to speed up Dragon Rage, who's going to get that stun. We're starting ourselves another bomb ticking down just a little bit of how Zilean has like no ability power yet, and that's going to be unfortunate, as Irelia just now goes ham on Zilean, knocking him down to about a quarter health. That lack of ability power is not helping Zilean out at all, as we switch once again to that bottom lane where we are just farming away. Purple team does have a slight advantage now that Irelia has gotten those 2 kills in that top lane. Did put the ultimate on himself, but not going to die. That's unfortunate. So kind of a little bit of a wasted ultimate. Should have actually, as a Zilean player, what you got to do when you put that ultimate on yourself is you actually have to then push onto the enemy team and make sure that they kill you. Even if it's just the minions, they kill you. But got a nice shutdown. We did not see what happened in that bottom lane, so we're going to switch over just after we watch that spear switch by. Alright, so we're going to go back, and it looks like in the bottom lane, we're going to see a little bit of action down here. So we're going to watch this down here. In that top lane, Zilean did an excellent job of throwing that ignite. But there's a nice damage. That spell binding from Morgana was enough to knock Lucian knock Lucian down very low health. And the Draven follow with his ultimate was excellent. He actually placed it in just the right position that he could then run towards the top of the map, which allowed it to come back and get that second hit. Nilly using a nice heal. That's going to keep her alive for just a moment longer. Another heal is going to keep her alive even longer. There's the spear and the knockup from Wukong on Kayle, and she is finished off in that mid lane. Excellent job by Purple team, keeping an eye on their buddies. Wukong coming in and helping out. Shyvana tried to get in to see what she could do, but not quite enough. Mr. Crypt getting those cheers. Draven here. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Before he decides instead not to back and entertain us a little bit more by killing some minions. That's good job, Draven. Good job. GG bot lane says Yukix because too OP. Irelia did dive, Alec. You are correct. However, she died because of that nice ignite and last bomb by Zilean. So an excellent job playing Irelia a little bit hard. But now Irelia is going to go hard on him. It does have that lifesteal as well. All of the damage is down, just finishing him off before his ultimate's even back up. When you know he's already used his ultimate, you got to kill him as many times as possible before getting back into it. LCS bot lane, as you can see, no problem at all. Going to be just doing all the damage without even caring. River, if you are still watching, hook me up with your team, though, because I would love to shoutcast some of those games. Alright, so we've got some pretty big name items coming out here. It looks like Zilean did decide to pick up some ability power with that blasting wand, as well as Kayle's going to get some damage with those auto attacks down, that stinger and ability power. A nice sight ward coming out from Morgana. Thresh still has not back. Whoa, instead we got some damage coming down. Crazy Murder getting a nice spear off, and then some auto attacks as cat form onto Casa Nostra before it's backing off, being really low health and just going to be farming up these minions while healing herself. She did start with that chalice, so she's going to have a lot of heals available in that mid lane, as you always need mana for those heals. Lucian's going to be picking up a phage first part in that bottom lane before pushing towards that Triforce, as we often see on Lucian's. Dark Biting from Morgana is not quite going to land on Lucian. Lucian does grab the lantern. I thought he was going to ignore it for a second, not worry about it. Wukong getting a nice little bit of damage onto Cosa Nostra, who gets a spear to the back, knocking out one of her wings, taking her very low health. We'll see if she decides to stick around and heal herself back up, but we know that one more of those Nidalee spears now could spell death for that winged vigilante in the mid lane. Wukong making his way slowly towards that bottom lane. There's the ping, though, from blue team. They were able to see him as they do have a ward. Draven does have a little bit of a speed up, but a nice hook from Thresh. Will it be enough? He pulls Wukong close to him. We've got to fight as the Morgana ultimate goes down. We're going to slow it down, stunning both of Wukong and Ruse. The Chosen One going to get here, go ahead and start his calling, but it's going to hit some minions. There we go, finishing another minion before going down onto LPK. The ultimate from Thresh is out. He's taking extremely low health. A Draven axe should be enough to finish him off. Draven picking up a double kill, even with the exhaust. Lucian instead trying to go for the farm. That's Shyvana up in that top lane doing a lot of damage to worst Irelia ever. The bomb does there. She flashed out just before the rest of the damage from Dragon Rage. Shyvana and Zilean could be enough, and it looks like Lucian will escape, but no, Shyvana's gonna flash in with a twin bite. Dead gets stunned, the ignite's down. Why are you running away when you can just do enough damage? The auto attack finishes her off, and Shyvana's picking up that kill, giving the assist over to Zilean, as well as being there to finish off that kill on Irelia in the top lane. Fantastic job, but no, Nidalee showed up out of freaking nowhere and finished Zilean off on that bottom lane. Well, we're gonna back that up. What on earth happened? We're going to slow it down just a little bit. Okay, so we see Nidalee up here. She's coming into that top lane, going to be going down onto Zilean. She actually decided not to run around that entire map. It is instead going to come around here cat form and go hard as a cat onto J-Bomb. You're going to go ahead and throw a bomb on there. Going to get that second bomb as well, but Nidalee damaged too much through a point-blank spear. That's enough. However, in that bottom lane, while Lucian is very low health, the damage from Draven too strong. That nice knock aside with that slow is going to allow Draven to pick up another kill in that bottom lane. Now 4-0. LPK and Mr. Crip 2 OP in that bottom lane. Look at that, 4-0 with an O and 4 Morgana. Well, 0-0 for Morgana. Sorry, 4 assists. That is how you do LPK, making it count when you need in that bottom lane. Great job grabbing the Wukong as well. And Mr. Crip will pick up the first tower of the game for blue team. Once again, I always say just because you're down in kills does not mean the game is over. We have 6 kills to 7, but blue team is about 2,000 gold in the lead, which is massive. So do not forget, even if you are down in kills, that does not mean the game is over, because you might have more gold than the enemy, and that means that you could, still win. A lot of purple members now in the mid lane as their tower did go down early. They're looking to maybe get this dragon as both teams are pinging the dragon. Purple team does have the ward. Nice pink ward there is going to allow them vision to check out this blue ward and take it down. Wukong going to be grabbing that as well. Nice spear from Nidalee is going to get a little bit of damage onto Kayle. A nice flay is going to pull her in for another Nidalee spear, but the minions are gone and they do not want any part of that as J-Bowman takes a little bit of damage from Irelia in the top lane. LPK, after putting that ward over by Dragon, was able to actually see that pink ward there. There's J-Bowman. Does he have his ultimate? No, he does not. And so he is going to go down to Irelia in that top lane, even underneath the tower. Doesn't matter. Irelia can tank tower for days. JP Man trying to get a little bit of action in on the purple. A nice hook from Thresh will actually spell the death for Shyvana as Nidalee comes in, picking up that kill. Crazy Murderer and that Wukong making their rounds now on blue team's side. Purple team wanting vengeance for all those kills earlier. Irelia continuing to push well in that top lane. 1-6 Zilean having a hard time, actually going to go ahead and start building some armor to try to deal with all of Irelia's damage. Not always the best choice to just build a defensive when you can, but maybe that'll help him out in the long run, especially if it's taking him a while to get all of that ability power that he needs to make his own damage go down. Crazy Murder coming in, getting a little bit of damage onto Mr. Crip, and not quite enough with that point-blank spear. Throwing out another one. I don't think it actually landed on Mr. Crip. Didn't really hit anybody. As Irelia, the worst Irelia ever, is now 6-2 in that top lane and taking off that tower out of blue team's hands. Purple team did get a nice kill by blue buff. It was actually Nidalee who picked up that blue buff on blue team's side, and but they lost a tower for it as blue team just kind of pushed in and pushed down that tower, which is extremely low health. Draven now free farming in that bottom lane, just slowly picking off those minions. Lucian making his way down there to try to help out. It is going to be a dangerous fight if all you have is Lucian versus a Draven, especially a 4-0 Draven, as he's already finished a Bloodthirster and has an additional BF sword to his name, whereas the Cutlass is the only item finished off by Lucian. Both Sight Wards or Sight Stone starts have been finished off by the supports, but Morgana's got a little bit extra with that extra health and ability power, and still has those biscuits helping her out. Worst Aurelia ever going to come in here, get a nice slow onto Mr. Crip. The damage is real. Is it enough? Yes, it is. I'm so tanky. I don't care how tanky and damagey your ADC is. I can finish him off without a problem. JP23 getting a lot of nice damage down. There's that little bit of laugh from Aurelia. Onto Morgana in that mid lane. Looks like Purple Team's going to go for this dragon. Thresh getting a nice lantern on the Nidalee, purling her closest. All 5 members of Purple Team are down here. There's Wukong going to see that ward and take it out. Shyvana actually leaping over the wall blind. Going to be instantly taken out by Purple Team as Ruse gets a nice hook onto Morgana, pulling himself in. That might be a little late though. The damage from Morgana goes down. Will it be enough? A last auto attack will finish her off. Kayle now coming in, ulting herself, invincible, but with a lot of damage. That's Nidalee actually flashing and then leaping over the wall to try to save herself as Aurelia is coming in here. Jay Bowman doing a nice job of taking the tower in the meantime with all this action in that top lane. So they did not get Dragon for free. They still lost Thresh, and now Mr. Crip is back for revenge on worst Aurelia ever, grabbing that kill as Kayle did a nice damage of tanking it. Can't lantern. It took so long to lantern an ally to his friend, but nice job from Blue Team turning that fight by Dragon around. No reason to call GG just yet. Best support NA. Mr. Crit making it count when it needs to. 9-12. Great job by all players involved. We are about a minute 30 behind, but we don't care because we like doing slow-mos at the high action points, and that is what makes these shoutcasts totally awesome. We don't have instant replay, so we're unable to do that, and that's why I do those slowdowns. But that's okay. A little bit of a Draven ward chilling there in the mid lane. It's funny, Purple Team has the Draven wards kind of cheering Draven on, and he's on the enemy team. So, but those Draven wards are pretty fantastic. Look at him, sitting there in the mid lane. Draven sitting by his own ward, and he doesn't even realize it. Why, thank you, ward. I will grab my own axe. Did you know that Dravens can pick up their own axes? They can kind of grab each other's axes. It's pretty cool, especially when you have that all-for-one in that, it's the all-for-one ARAM style game where you have 10 Dravens. Everyone's throwing axes. You can't help but catch an axe from somebody else because there's so many axes flying around. But anyway, getting back on track, Purple Team still, or Blue Team, a little bit in the lead by about 1,000 gold, which is saying huge as they are down 3 kills. But they are making this game count and fighting it out to the very end. Pharaoh Flare now has been almost finished by Shyvana. You can see there ticking away as she was able to get most of it and is now pursuing the rest of it in the jungle. Purple Team is going to be making their way towards blue buff. It looks like JP23 might give it over to Nidalee. A nice dark binding from Morgana is going to possibly spell death for Ruse as Shyvana comes in. Doesn't even need Dragon Form. Look at that speed and the auto attacks just finishing her off. Dragon Rage picking up yet another kill now. 3 and 3 as they are now pushing down mid lane. Morgana doesn't care about the damage from Nidalee. She's tanky enough with that finish sight ward. Has all of the damage. Grabbed a sweeping lens for herself as well, so she's going to be able to clear wards, helping her teammates out, keeping vision out of Purple Team's hands. Now 10-12. Blue Team is still pushing in here. We can see Aurelia up there. It's actually, I think that even Morgana knows that she is up there, throwing out that dark binding. They do have a ward near the Wraiths, but Blue Team will be instead backing off a little bit as Purple Team's pinging over by both the Kayle and the Zilean, so they're going to have to be careful. Blue Team does have a ward, though, over there, so they should see this Wukong making his way towards them. Yes, Kayle does see, and actually Zilean decides to pursue it instead of backing off. Purple Team does have that nice vision ward. Well, I'm just totally missing. Mr. Crip does have the ignite, but it is not enough. The spell shield from Morgana, not quite enough to save her, as everyone got really quick damage onto Draven and burst him down. Not able to life him, steal himself back to too much health, as Aurelia is going to go and get a nice slow onto Zilean. Morgana thought that she was going to go hard underneath the tower, so she went ahead and used her ultimate, but that is not the way you want to do it with Morgana ultimate only targeted on one person. Zilean getting a little bit of damage with that bomb on his own minion. I think it was his own minion. is an Italy spear. I think it was actually mostly shielded by... No, she was a little bit late with those shield on herself, so she got a little bit of damage as Zilean being taken very low health. Purple team is just going to whack down this tower in no time. If blue team doesn't come in to stop, but that's Shyvana ulting in from the sidelines. Whoa, we don't want to slow down as the dark binding from Morgana is not going to land on anybody. Thresh tries to throw a hook, but it's not going to land on anybody either. Nidalee is going to throw a spear, and it's not going to land on anybody either. But the auto attacks from Kill will finally land on Ruse as he is going to throw down his ultimate to slow down blue team. Going to flay away both the Shyvana and the Kayle, but he is extremely low health. Will somebody do something and finish him off? Nidalee was able to get a heal onto him and put him back up to a bit of health as he is going to hook the Shyvana and pull her over next to the wall. The dark binding from Morgana is going to spell death for him as he did not have his flash up. Look at that, so close. I think it will actually come up in the next second or so as we are watching right now. And purple team is going to make their way out of that and disengage completely from that fight as Draven is going to be slowly pushing in. But that Irelia wants some blood. She's going to come in here as well. There's another, once again, fight breaking out as Irelia is backing up extremely slow, but Shyvana wants it. She is very low health. She's going to continue to pursue on the Irelia. Irelia is actually going to pick up that kill now, 9 and 3, as Irelia did a nice job of kind of baiting Shyvana to go hard without the rest of her teammates backing her up. And Irelia is going to escape with just a sliver of health. Purple team is now going to push down this mid lane. 11 kills to 14. Sexy, sexy binding. Welcome the Viper. Hope you guys enjoy. Better Baleen Sin. It is a $10 RP card that will be given away after this game. So stick around for as we finish off the shoutcasting of this game. 11 kills to 14. Almost even gold though. Blue team still a little bit in the lead. Doing a great job of keeping that farm up where they want it. Crazy Murder pushing down the mid lane here as Mr. Crip is going to take a spear to the back, knock him down to about 2/3 health. And he's just going to stop these minions right in their tracks by the tower. Shyvana coming in helping out as well. Look at that sexy Shyvana skin. Blue team trying to figure out where they can pursue and what target they want. Another Nidalee spear doing a nice job of hitting Lee Sin. The Shyvana though is going to be in trouble as blue team makes their way. The spell shield by Morgana might be enough to keep Shyvana alive. Purple team is going to just clear this ward and back off from that fight. Blue team, without their tank, should not engage. They know that Dragon's going to be up soon, though. I think it's live right now. Wukong has gone in on it, and the rest of the purple team are following up. Will they take it before blue team can respond? They will indeed. And thankfully, Draven did not use his ultimate to check on it. Hopefully he won't, because that will be a wasted ultimate. Especially as somebody that has that extremely long ranged ultimate that like Draven or even Ashe, you want to make sure you know when to shoot it instead of just throwing it, because it's a very valuable skill to waste just checking to see if they are at Dragon or Baron. So make sure you use it at the right time. Purple team do a nice job of taking this tower in the mid lane before backing off here. That Dark Binding from Morgana is not going to land on anybody. The way you win the RP is by being in the chat, by being here, and by having followed me, and that way I know that you are a true fan of the shoutcasts when you follow me as well. And that's the only way. I'm going to have a little bit of a random contest. Everyone's going to shout out a name, and I may actually just try and find and let Nightbot is my kind of chat program, but maybe it'll help me out in this giveaway. But it'll just pick a random person who is in the chat and available for it, and so we'll see if that works out. But we will check all of that out after the game. Now still 11 and 14. Nice pink ward clear by Shyvana. Didn't need that sweeping lens from Morgana, but hey, it never hurts to see if they also have normal ward in there. And the Chosen One chilling there. I think Wukong is going to be giving blue buff over to Nidalee once again. Whereas Irelia continuing to farm very heavily now, 150. Though Zilean is catching up pretty close now, almost at 100. He was only at 1/3 of the farm of purple team's Irelia, and now he's about 2/3, which is pretty good. That's catching up in the game, continuing to get farm now, 99. As both teams have now burned a pink ward on that one spot. You can tell it is a highly contested spot for both teams. Triforce being finished by Irelia, as well as that Archangel coming out from Zilean, so he's going to be able to shield himself. Bork being finished by both Shyvana and Lucian, so they're going to have a lot of damage in the game. Boots of Speed coming out here, or most mobility, I guess, coming out from Thresh. Purple team looks like they want this bottom tower. They should be able to beat it down without any problem. Blue team in no place to respond or push anything of their own. There they go, grab another tower. Now 4 towers to the 3 by blue team. I'm really doing a little bit of that laugh as she finishes off that tower. Now 154. Shyvana is going in, though. She's got her team to follow her up, possibly. Wukong ultimate coming in here, knocking up 2 of blue team's members. Shyvana going to get that ultimate from Zilean. Will it be enough? Morgana actually going to both slow and do a little bit of stun on the Irelia. Thresh, a nice job of shielding. There is that ultimate from Kale as well, stopping that damage on the Shyvana once again as she continues to go in. Irelia picking up a second kill as blue team now is in a bad situation. Purple team continuing to do massive damage. Look at Irelia. She finally goes down to the Draven, but that was an entire team for 2 kills on blue team, or on purple team, excuse me. 13 kills to 19. Everyone wanted that Irelia, and both ultimates from Zilean and Kale went onto Shyvana, the tanky member, which is pretty good, but it left Draven completely open, as well as Shyvana was not still in the fight, so both of those ultimates kind of got wasted on her, as she was not like the target of anyone's damage. She was so low health, they assumed they either didn't need to care about her. She was kind of in those back lines, so don't put your ultimates on somebody who is in the back line running away or not directly involved in the fight. Better wait for somebody else to be there. Zilean top clearly too OP, as everyone says in the chat. Irelia is very fed, however, she can really only single target focus. If you're good, straight up ignore her and hit that back line, especially as somebody like Zilean. Just throw all of your bombs onto the ADC on the enemy team, and it doesn't guarantee a kill just yet. It doesn't guarantee that you will live if you're only focusing that back line, but you'll get a lot of damage and help that out. Nice dark binding onto the Nidalee, who's just going to maybe grab that lantern. Yeah, on that Thresh after she throws a spear. Sunday Dry, welcome to the stream. Thank you for following and joining us. And Gengar, you guys are awesome. I hope you enjoy. I do almost solely Shoutcast viewer modes here, so you guys have done an awesome job of joining in. Hopefully I can get you into the next couple of games here, and you can now be a part of that $10 right point giveaway. As the teams are now progressing, this game is almost over, and once we're done, we will then get this $10 RP game $10 gift mode underway. 13 to 19 kills, only 4k gold behind. That is not bad, but purple team still pretty well in the lead, 12 to 4. Irelia has all the kills, but you know what that means though, is if you have somebody who has all the kills, as soon as she is taken out, the rest of the team really doesn't have a whole lot. I mean, Nidalee's doing good. She's 3-0, and so she has pretty good damage, but once again, she's a single target champion. So if you get a good Morgana ultimate on all 5 members, stun lock that Irelia, finish her off before the team knows what's going on, you can still easily win the game. I see Wukong there actually went ahead and used a little bit of a jump, but the damage is down as Shyvana is going to come in here. We're going to slow this down. Thresh ultimate coming out as well, slowing a lot of blue team's members down. Draven's got a lot of damage. Thresh is actually going to pick up that kill on the Shyvana, and Draven's going to be finished off from Wukong as LPK is going to be grabbed by grabbed by Thresh, and that is going to finish Irelia picking up that kill on Morgana. Draven going in all by himself, trying to get down Lucian, but it's not going to be enough. Lucian will be picking up that kill onto Draven. Rue's throwing out a little bit of damage there, trying to throw out a hook there to see if it will land on Kale, as Kale and Zilean are the only 2 members up. Once again, blue team is not fighting as a team. You saw all the purple team members in there, whereas blue team, that was kind of a hashtag thrown together fight. Jay Bowman instantly being taken down by purple team before he even can do anything about it. Costa Nostra trying to do a little bit of damage and keep them off of these towers, but it's not going to be enough. As a team in these team fights, you have to be completely together. All out or all in. There was only 3 members of blue team in that last fight. Shyvana leapt in, which was great. That's what you want to do as the hyper tank going in there. She's got a little bit of damage with that Bork, but also that Feral Flare, and has some of this tank with the Warden's Mail. So going to get in there, already kind of tanky, but the team wasn't there to follow up. Zillion was back healing at the base. Draven was in there for a little bit doing some damage and then backed off completely. Kayle helped out, but then backed off completely as well. When you are so far back, you can't help your team out that much. You need to be 100% into the fight. 100% in or 100% out. It is better to have only one person die. If the Shyvana went in and the rest of the team decided they were not in the fight, back out. Let Shyvana die, but now you have 4 members that can defend that tower, not just 2. And Zillion went ham and got taken out. Can't get hooked by that Thresh. You got to be able to watch it. JS, man. But best of job on Zillion is super squishy and Draven is squishy. Draven is supposed to be squishy. Zillion is even supposed to be squishy. That's fine. But you need to be able to live. You got to be able to have your supports there to help you out. Morgana was taken out very quickly in that last fight, so Draven did not last long. Draven actually did really well. He got a lot of damage and almost finished off Lucian before being taken out. As purple team now progresses, just owning the map, running all the way through blue team's jungle. Blue team knows that they've at least been there, as they do have that ward. Nice pink ward from Wukong is actually going to take that out, though, as I really is going to go ahead and put another ward in there just to keep an eye on it. Nidalee making her way up towards this Baron. Blue team knows they are likely a Baron. Will the damage from purple team be enough to take this Baron out before blue team can respawn? It looks like they will. Blue team is very gently making their way towards the mid lane, but not responsive enough. Again, 100% in or 100% out. They have decided to not go and defend this Baron, but that might be death for them. Nice job from Kayle healing that Draven, giving him a little bit of speed boost to walk out of that, as the blue team is going to be backing off from this mid lane fight. Nidalee's looking for somebody. Zillion is not in the appropriate fight position, as both Shyvana and Zillion are kind of around the wall here. The camera's doing a nice job of keeping track of that. Zillion's going to be caught out and instantly nuked. Does have his ultimate, a little bit wasted, using it on himself for the next fight. Shyvana's actually decided it is a good time to go ham, as that Draven ult's going to land on all of purple team's members. That Rail actually leaping over the wall, trying to finish off Draven. That Ignite will finish her off as well. Lucian getting an excellent culling over the entire team. It hit both everyone here in that fight as well as everyone in that bottom lane, or over the wall. Are really just too tanky, jumping into that back line as Kayle tries to survive a little bit underneath that tower. That tower shot might be enough, but no, the Nidalee heal is going to keep her alive. No, wait, maybe not. Maybe not! Kayle still got the kill on Irelia! Nidalee not tanking it out. Welcome, Captain Wafbuffet and Title Kubo for joining us now. We are almost at the end of this game, in which we will do a giveaway, $10 Riot Point giveaway. Thank you for following, though. I do viewer giveaways, as I don't have any subscribers yet. Hey, it's just for fun, so you guys can follow for free and jump in. We are almost about to finish this game as purple team comes in here, finishing off the Nexus, and that is game, ladies and gentlemen. Team Worst Team NA taking it to the wall and finishing the game off. Excellent, excellent job, which proves that they are not the worst team NA. But thank you for proving me right and proving that I predicted correctly. So best of the job with it. Before we get underway just yet in this giveaway, I always do really quick. The MVP player for both teams, most valuable player in either team. Definitely going to give it over on the losing team to Shyvana. Welcome, Blaston8R. Awesome job. Thank you for following, and hopefully you can jump into some of these Shoutcast games as well as we get into it with all of these other followers. And hi, Carrie. MVP to Shyvana for doing an excellent job of jumping in, and she tried to make sure that all the team fights were on blue team's side. Like, they were when blue team decided they want to. That's the best feature about Shyvana, is leaping in, even 1v5, tanky enough to do with it for a while. Didn't build perfectly accurate for it, as she had that Bork. Feral Flare is really what damage you need if you're going to go that tanky route and dive into the enemy team. But still, if you watched early on, she did an excellent job of making a lot of these ganks fight when she wants it to fight and when her team wants it to fight, and helping her team out in that sense. But a massive shout out to my main man, Mr. Crip, who's my best mod, doing an excellent job. 8 and 5, beautiful job on the Draven. And then last but not least, MVP player for Purple Team. Purple Team, because they won. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. It really, really is. It's easy to say the Irelia, but Irelia got some heavy feed on Zillion in that top lane. And when you're 6-0 before the game really even begins, or I guess 6-1 before the game begins, it's not that hard to carry your team. So she did a good job, but it wasn't really an even matchup in that top lane. Welcome, Styroplasm, as well. We were just about to get this RP giveaway underway, but just running in here. And JP, oh my gosh, you guys are fantastic. Thank you for jumping in. And X-Ray Vision, you guys are just crazy. It's so many followers. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for jumping in as well. We are just about to get this underway, but I am going to say MVP is going to go over to Nidalee. She did a lot of damage with that poke, but more importantly, she didn't die. Huge shout out to Irelia, but for the same reason as I said, it's not hard to carry the game when you're so fed 6-1 before 10 minutes. It's kind of easy to dominate even in a Silver League game. It's pretty simple, and the higher you go, when you're 6-1, it's not hard to dominate. But more than, Nidalee did not die. I know Nidalee is good at escaping, but on a team that has Morgana's snares, Kael's chase, Shyvana, Zillion's bombs that can track you down, it's very difficult to not die. And Nidalee did a perfect job of that. 0 deaths, 4 kills, and 11 assists. So MVP, Crazy Murder, excellent job on the Nidalee, but huge shout out to Worst Irelia Ever for not playing the Worst Irelia Ever, because obviously you went 15 and 5, you did an excellent job. So, whew, now that is over, how did I got a friendly? I don't think I can even get a friendly from that, but now that is over.